are in harmony with the constitution of the state.
Okay.
And with the domestic laws. The first step that they have to now take, I will move forward, the first step that they have to now take is to ensure that domestic laws are in harmony and the constitution is not in contradiction and conflict.
Okay. Mumtaz Saab, I'm going to, because Taira Saab has basically talked about the reservations. Let's talk about the conventions themselves. Highlights of the two protocols. So we have civil and political rights as well as torture and human rights. Highlights of the two.
Well, basically, the one that talks about the, if you talk about the Civil and Political Rights Convention, it basically has so much to do with the basic human rights of the people of this country. For example, the right to life to begin with. This is the foremost and the most fundamental human right. So, after ratifying it, there should be no room for extrajudicial executions in the country. Now, that is what the lady referred to when she was talking about implementation.
Right.
Similarly, we've also ratified now the convention against torture. Now, everybody should be considered innocent until proven guilty, and there should be no use of torture. And by torture, I'm sure we all appreciate the fact that it means not only physical abuse but also mental torture.
That's right.
Now, that calls upon changing the basic philosophy of policing in Pakistan today.
Right.
So,
and investigation.
Interrogation, because torture is commonly used as the most convenient tool to get the confession out of a person who has been convicted or who has been accused. So now, if that has to be changed, a lot has to be put into. However, and it also talks about political reform, the electoral reform as well. The election processes have to be monitored, improved. Now, also all the civil and all the political rights, the right to self-determination, for example, the right to vote.
Yeah, but when I was going through the protocols and the articles that are included in it, what struck me was that these are things that have been ratified in the past. I mean, they're part of the Universal Charter of Human Rights. So why do you need to have protocols stating the same thing all over again?
Basically, these three most important and most significant documents that compose the Bill of Rights is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, and also the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. Now, UDHR in the UN language is only a declaration, and all the states member of the United Nations accept it. And they declare that these are the 30 articles in the UDHR are basically human rights. However, to put legal force into that document then came in 1966 both of these two documents that actually strengthen all the rights that are envisioned, that are enshrined in the UDHR.
Can I just add something to the list that we've just heard? I agree with everything you've said. I'd just like to add something else. There is also a convention on enforced disappearesses and missing persons.
That's something that I want to discuss a little in detail when we'll come back to that.
And we have to read these in conjunction with one another. There's the death penalty. Pakistan has stated, the Prime Minister stated on the floor of the National Assembly that Pakistan will abolish the death penalty. That has to be read in conjunction with all this.
Again, the issue of the death penalty. How do you translate that from an article into a law in Pakistan, especially when one of the main reservations is that nothing should go against the Islamic ideology, you know?
Look, I'm sorry that I had to agree with all the propositions put forth by these two ladies.
Don't be sorry, be happy.
But the binoculars, the mind, that should be a Pakistani mind.
Exactly.
That should be an Islamic oriented mind. That should be a liberal, social, conforming to our realities.
Exactly.
Now the document of 1973 Constitution, nobody has challenged that document is out of spirit, that that document is not a liberal, democratic, this and that. Although such things have been happening like that in a regime, in Article 2A, Azadi against minority, that was deliberately taken out. And for the last so many years, none of the parliamentarian, none of the Supreme Court, High Court, none of the big liars, none of the jurists, nobody has raised this question. Nobody. The brain like them also. It is our evolutionary period. Now, when we were taking into consideration, this took me at least 8 months, day and night. I saw each and everything, because I'm a lawyer by profession also. I said that the jurisprudence, The law of tort is there.
Okay.
Civil wrongs, law of tort covers it. Has anybody has gone to the court that this mineral water bottle is containing a bad water? Nobody has gone into the court. Have policeman has slapped someone? Policeman cannot slap anyone. Has anybody has gone to the court? No. That is due to the fact that we are not having an educated society. We have been without a political regime throughout.
Right.
We have been the regimes. For 10 years it is Islamic, for 10 years it is liberal, for another 5-10 years it is liberal plus Islamic plus social plus Awami.
Okay.
Every time we have to start afresh. So there is nothing new in this covenants, in these conventions, CAT or ICP, this and that which is not given in the book, that is the 73 Constitution. But still, because the evolution is there, society is advancing, age is expanding, so उसमें इंसान की the human being has changed their necessities. The education has enlarged their mental visions. So the knowledge, sometime back Mullah used to say that we will not use loudspeaker. There was a time. Sometimes they used to say that only one Eid would be offered. And we used to break our rosas in Ramadan Sharif at 12 noon or 1 noon. Then telegraph used, then telephone used. Mullah used to say no telephone. But slowly and steadily, now the society is coming used to these things.
Okay.
But there are certain things still. I was in Geneva last time in the council session. So there was a good discussion going on that in the Warwick area, the extraordinary extrajudicial killings are being affected. A story traveled to Harold Trudon. I explained them that during war there is no law anywhere in the world. The normal laws are suspended. The emergency is there. War is not a good thing. That is why we say. But when the war is there, then if a person is hit, if an ordinary pigeon is hit, or a chicken is hit, or an army person is hit, they have got the same values.
Okay. But, you know, which brings me to a very interesting point, and that is that these protocols place a lot of importance on personal freedoms. But how do you reconcile that, or how do you actually, you know, make it a reality, especially in Pakistan in today's intolerant environment? You know, you see a lot of intolerance on the streets, on the ground. Terrorism itself is a form of intolerance. So how do you protect these personal freedoms? You know, I mean, keeping in mind